Hi, this is John and welcome back to my channel. The man who would be king. In fact, his name is Jeff King. Mr. America, Mr. Universe from 1983. I'm going to pull up some really cool footage of his posing routines from both the Mr. America and the Mr. Universe from that time, so you'll see that in a moment, as well as some really great pictures. Let me tell you right out the gate, this man had a phenomenal physique. And by all accounts, if he were to have progressed like he should have, then he should have been in the Mr. Olympia. He should have been at the top levels of the IFBB at the time, the professional ranks. But let's see exactly what happened along the way. So here you go, Jeff King. This is footage from the 1983 Mr. America. And I can tell you right out the gate that Jeff King is a man who understands where his strengths and where his weaknesses are. And as you can tell, he comes out with that posing routine. The first thing he did was hit leg shots, thigh shots specifically. Those legs of his are phenomenal. And he's often been compared to Tom Platz. Tom Platz being possibly the most famous of all when it comes to thigh development. Jeff King's name all throughout the 80s and the early 90s was constantly brought up within the same breath as Tom Platz. Now, Jeff, you see, he has an upper body, a pretty good upper body at that. So, unlike Tom Platz, I think that Jeff actually had better upper body genetics and was on his way to actually completing a physique that would have rivaled anyone at the time. So in the Mr. America right here, you see again those phenomenal thighs, great development, as well as extremely low body fat. And you can see right here in this picture how fully developed he would go on to grow even further in that upper body and sort of matching those legs. So he did a great job of it. And you can see the chest, the arms, the shoulders, the back. He had every single thing. Possibly his back may have been a little bit behind his whole body. And you'll see in this footage from the Mr. Universe that when he went on later that year in 1983, again, starting out with those leg shots in that, in that posing routine. And then, again, phenomenal muscle all over his body. But you'll see he saves those back shots for later on in the routine, and he doesn't exactly show it off too much. So out of all of the body parts, if I have to be nitpicky about it, being a judge, I would say that he was a little bit light in the back development to match those great legs as well as his upper body. Now, Jeff would go on after winning this show and compete professionally. This is the NABA Mr. Universe. So at the time, the NPC and the IFBB were breaking off on their own, and the NABA Mr. Universe winner wasn't necessarily qualified to compete in the IFBB. He had to be invited. And usually they made them pay a price by qualifying all over again in the NPC. So, wow, look at that amazing shot. Down on one knee, that intercostal, that chest, arm, abdominals, awesome posing. So for a big man, he was a great poser as well. Good-looking young man, did his business like he should, went ahead and took that overall at the Mr. Universe, qualifying as a professional in the NABA organization, and he would go on to compete as a professional in that organization. And you'll see as they give out these awards, there's one man in particular who took seconds to him. That's the third place winner, Marty Varanikar. But in second place, John Brown, another pro bodybuilder. He went on into the IFBB to compete later on. But Jeff, he would try later on to compete in the IFBB to qualify with them, but they just made him try to jump through too many hoops, and he just blew that off. And eventually had an injury, from what I heard, that had him go on and stop competing. And there's another great shot from the Mr. Universe. Amazing shot. So you can see that full development. So listen, if you're liking these videos, please hit the subscribe button below and give me a like on the left. Hit that thumbs up. I appreciate that as well. Thank you again for visiting, Mr. America Hart.